This is Hyde Park, one of the finest green spaces in a city that's certainly not short of green space. But no time for that now, we're here to talk about a station. Today we're looking at Hyde Park Corner. This is a station on the Piccadilly Line that sits between Knightsbridge and Green Park in the West End of London. The station opened on the 15th of December 1906 and was one of the original stations built by the Great Northern Piccadilly and Brompton Railway, the predecessor to the Piccadilly Line. Before this, another station was proposed here in 1901 as part of a line called the West and South London Junction Railway, which was to run from Paddington to Kennington Oval. In 1902, another tube line was put forward, this one partly backed by London United Tramways and partly by no less a personage than American tycoon J.P. Morgan. The Great Northern Piccadilly and Brompton Railway was proposed at the same time. Morgan's tube promised a fast and frequent service, faster than the Great Northern Piccadilly and etc. railway could. The backers of the Great Northern blah 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 railway countered that a passenger cannot be handled like a bullet in a gun, which seems like a pretty weak argument. But the Great Northern and all that jazz railway had another trump card. It was owned by this guy. Yes, Charles Yerkes, transport magnate, swindler, and Tales from the Tube regular. Yerkes' solution to the Morgan tube was to buy London United Tramways, which you may recall was backing the other half of the rival line. Yerkes pulled London United out of the deal, and so J.P. Morgan only had half a line. The proposal collapsed, unable to get parliamentary approval. So, Hyde Park Corner got folded into Yerkes' empire, Underground Electric Railways of London. As a result, the station was built in accordance with the design standards of that company. It received a grand entrance designed by Leslie Green. In 1932, the station was modernised with a new ticket hall and escalators. The new station was completely underground and the old entrance was abandoned. But unlike its near neighbour, Knightsbridge, the old entrance is very visible and easily identifiable as a former tube station. More original features can be seen at platform level. Like many other stations of the UERL, the station name is tiled in huge letters, and the tiles form a pattern unique to this station, which was either to make it easier for regular users to identify their station, or for no reason at all, depending on which source you read. Unusually, it also incorporates these rather delightful directional signs. Holloway Road is the only other station to retain them. Actually, during the late 20th century, the station was allowed to fall into disrepair, and it was only thanks to a restoration programme in 2000 that it was returned to its former glory. These directional signs had been hidden under advertising posters for years. The station is only on the Piccadilly Line, but that might not have been the case. Before the Victoria Line was built, when it was a planned route known simply as Route C, it would have gone through Hyde Park Corner. However, the route was changed and the Victoria Line goes through Green Park instead. Hyde Park Corner isn't the grandest or busiest station on the network, but I'm very fond of it. The original features it retains give it a real period charm. And it boasts that unusual distinction of being a working station that's also part abandoned. And now we reach the end of the video, and it's time for another of your frequently asked questions. Today, what is the font that I use in my videos? Now, some people have asked if the font I use in my videos is actually Johnston, the typeface used by TfL. It is in fact Gil Sans, or I suppose Gilson. I don't know which is the correct pronunciation, I've never heard it said out loud. I would love to use Johnston, but Johnston is copyrighted. However, Gil Sans, or Son, was actually designed to resemble Johnston by Eric Gill. It was later used by the London and North Eastern Railway and British Railways, and generally looks quite neat and clean with an old-fashioned, classic look. I sometimes use other typefaces as appropriate. I use Rockwell on videos about the DLR because that's the font the DLR used in the 80s, for instance, but mostly it's Gill, that's the default. Hello all, I hope you enjoyed this pleasantly tiled tale from the tube. If you did, there is a like button via which you may express your enjoyment. You may also wish to press the subscribe button, which will enable you to see more of my work as it appears. Thanks, as always, to my donors on Ko-fi and Patreon. You are the London United Tramways to my JP Morgan proposal, except, pre-Yerkes. I really didn't think this metaphor through. Anyway, I'll see you all again very soon for another tale from the tube.